Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, happy brunch, happy first day of December. How is everyone doing? Oh, let's see. My screen is bouncing around over here. There we go. Good morning. Let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me. It's December 1st. I've got my stocking up. Woo! I decided to take my the Christmassy FPP that we did last year. Deco tiles. There we go. That's what it's called. I decided to take the Christmassy deco tiles to my new job, to the office, and hang up in my space. So I'm excited because there are a couple of quilters at the new job, so we're going to show off our stuff. I'm excited about that. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Happy December. This is my favorite time of year. Basically, from Halloween through my daughter's birthday is January 3rd. So through January 3rd is like my favorite time of year. So I'm very excited to be in this time of year. Hi, Shelly. Thanksgiving was a lot of fun. It was a quiet affair. It was just me and the kids. So my daughter, my son, and his girlfriend, we did Thanksgiving here, just nice and quiet. Watched a ton of football, made enough food to feed an army. I cannot, I cannot cook for small groups. I made so much food because there's so much about Thanksgiving that I love. Gotta have all of the things. So yeah. So we have plenty of leftovers that we've been working through. I'm probably gonna make a ham soup today with the ham from Thursday. Nobody really, I'm the only one that likes turkey, so I didn't make turkey. We did ham. So I'll probably make like a ham and bean soup. I think will probably happen today, which will be fun. It's cold, so it's definitely soup weather. Hi, Donna. How was your Thanksgiving, everybody? Shelly, thank you so much for asking. And Donna, please let me know, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? We had a good time, and it's wild because I just started the new job, and so my going into my second week, I had Thursday and Friday off. So they always give the Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving off. So I had the Thursday and Friday off, which is pretty crazy. So I had my first full week, which was all like, orientation and, first week kind of stuff, videos to watch, all that kind of thing, training stuff. Um, and then the second week, nobody was in the office. So I got to like talk to a bunch of people and uh, meet some folks, Zoom and Teams meetings. I love that it provides that ability because a lot of the team, the company I work for, the company I'm working for is a global company. So I have people on the team that I'm on that are in everywhere, in India, in uh, let's see, I spoke to one guy who was in Budapest, in Paris, in Panama, in Costa Rica, California. I talked to a bunch of people all across the world. So it was insane. Hi, Jeannie, how are you doing? Good morning, Russ. Oh, child, are you doing the Vlogmas this year? That was a lot. I'm not going to be doing that with starting the new job. I am well, I get to travel for the new job next week, so there's a bunch of days that I will not be around. So Vlogmas will not be a thing. But I did today want to. Well, we're going to finish Blue Jay Mini. We're going to finish her up. I'm going to talk a little bit about her, and then I'm going to talk about my plans for the future. Woohoo! And what we'll be getting into. Good morning, Doreen. Welcome. Well, as everybody is coming in, tell me about how your Thanksgiving was. Um, I want to say that not everybody, I understand and I feel that not everybody is excited about the holidays as I am. So please don't take any offense to the fact that I am excited about this time. And if anybody ever needed to like talk about the reason why this season sucks for them, I am totally here for you. Because I know it's often not a really good time of year. It's I have lost some family members during this time of year, so I know it can be crappy. So I feel for you as well, and my heart goes out to you. But um, I just want to say that so to make sure that everybody knows that this is a safe space to feel however you're feeling about this time of year. And that I mean no offense by being excited about this time of year. So there we go. That's my PSA for the day. Russ says he is being insane and doing the Vlogmas this year. Oh, Russ went to go see Wicked. The movie was awesome. Ooh, A Million Degrees in a Theater. Yeah, that's ookie pookie. I did not realize that the movie was in two parts. I saw somebody else post about it that they had not realized that either. So that's crazy. It's going to be okay. What cat is, Mama, get out of here. The cat's pushing the camera stand. But that's pretty cool. I love a good, like, I like a good trilogy and like, like the Lord of the Rings. So, but I like a expansive movie that I can go and see a couple times, like a couple of movies in. Hey, Valerie, good morning. Okay, so again, we're gonna go over the Blue Jay Mini, and we're gonna put the final pieces together, and then we'll get into the future plans. So let's take a look. This is what I've gotten done. I went back, I think 2 weeks ago, we talked about how I wasn't happy with how the head was aligning. And I said I was going to go back and I was going to take the papers out where the paper was being too, it was giving too much structure. So I went back and did that. It's got cat sprinkles on it. So I apologize if you see a bunch of cat hair. I went back and, because there is some paper still left, it looks really wonky, but the head is lined up so nicely now. I'm very happy with how it lined up. Taking the paper out in that section, in this section right here, really allowed me to have the fabric give some play. And I was able to pin it to the gods and make it lay the way I wanted it to. So now I'm very excited about how this whole seam lines up, and I think she looks gorgeous. And then this one, I ended up not having to take any of the paper out to line up the B's, B1 and B2 blocks. And I think she is lined up really, really well as well. So, and I'll show off this one up this way. And so block B1 is the one that had, was it B1? Yeah. B1 had it went all the way to Q, I think. B, O, Q, Q. Yeah. But it had the most pieces, but it wasn't hard to put together at all. I think this was a really nice way to jump into multi-piece blocks, because I don't think it wasn't as difficult as some of the multi-piece blocks can be. I would really say that this Blue Jay Mini is, maybe if you're super nervous about doing FPP, maybe you would start with like Sail Away, because that's a lot of easy blocks to work your way into. But if you let go of the fear and you just take your time, Blue Jay Mini, I think, is a rockin' first time legit kit. I think it's a really good one to start off with. And today we're going to go ahead and put the two pieces of Miss Mini together. And I'm going to talk about, I am not a pinner usually. I was having a hard time with that one spot. She's curling up between the legs of the camera, so if it tilts a little bit, My apologies. She's having a good time. Valerie, I'm doing very well. I hope you are doing good as well. Russ said that part one of the movie is the same length as act one of the musical. That's very cool. Hi, Charlotte. Shelly said she had kids and grandbabies over for Thanksgiving. Oh, I have way too much leftovers. It's a great way of spending time with family. Yeah, it was really fun. And we are working through all of the leftovers. I think green bean casserole went first, I'm pretty sure. My daughter made this really cool corn side dish with mascarpone cheese, yum, jalapenos. It was a bit spicy, so that was really good. So it was fun. It was a good time. Hi. Oh, you are good. Oh, okay. Designing Jay says good morning. Sorry, I'm late. I have another commitment, so unfortunately I can't stay long. That is all right. I'm gonna get to putting this uh seam together for the BJ mini and go over some of the parts that maybe frustrated me or parts that I think might be bits that might catch a newbie. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the future. So I'll go ahead and get started on this. Again, I'm not much of a pinner. I did pin that area where it was giving me problems because I had ripped it out a couple of times. So there was some warping of the fabric. So I wanted to make sure it all set snug. So I really pinned the bejeebies out of that area. But for this, I'm not going to pin anything. I'm going to put the magic clips or whatever you call them, these little buggers across it. I'm going to make sure that the center seam matches. That is where I will probably pop a couple pins just across the center seam. And I want to end up really well there and start off the next block really well. There we go. Oda says the part one is the same length as the whole musical. Oh, good golly. Well, I remember reading the book when it came out and reading Son of a Witch when that came out. So I read Diary of a Evil Stepsister, right? That was what it was called, Diary of an Evil Stepsister. I'm pretty sure. Like I really liked that whole genre where they were spinning the fairy tales kind of on their head. I was really excited about that. Johanna says she got to spend time with her daughter and her family, and it's really nice having dinner cooked for me. You are so right. That is nice to get that like a special treatment on the holiday. When we're putting the pieces together, if you want to, some folks will do this. We'll do the where we talked about a couple weeks ago, the airplane where you go in on the sew line and out of the sew line to test the like audition the seam to make sure it's okay. You can also crank your seam or your stitch length really up to like 4, 5, stitch it together to see, again, to do that auditioning to make sure you're happy with where everything lines together. I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a an audition stitch to show you what I mean. Not everybody might know what that term is and what it means and how you can do that. So maybe I'll do an audition. I'm just putting these together with the clips to hold everything in line, because with the papers, I do like the papers give like the structure to kind of hold it all together, but it also allows some movement of the blocks, and that drives me insane. But I'm going to go ahead and move my stitch length up, and we'll do a running stitch, basically basting stitch, and see if what I've done with my clips is going to make the picture as close as I can get. Not, it doesn't have to be perfection. Has everyone started decorating for the holiday, the next holiday, either Christmas or Hanukkah? I know Hanukkah starts Christmas night, which is cool. I swore, and I feel like this happened every time, like in school all the time. I swore that Christmas and Hanukkah were always at the same time, and it's not true. It's not true that they happened at the same time. But in my head, I had it that they happened at the same time of year every year. But I also had it in my head from being a kid that the Redskins and the Cowboys always played against each other on Thanksgiving Day. And that is also not the case. Not, but in my head, from growing up, that was tradition. I don't know why. One pin out. Two pin out. Oh, I'm just thinking about this now, of course. What also would help is if I had if you have an extension table, that would also help, because it laying like this kind of puts some drag on it. If you have an extension table, that'll also help keep the papers aligned. There you go. Now, the fun of doing a running stitch at a longer stitch length is I don't feel the need to remove it after I audition. I can just leave that long stitch length in, and I don't think it does anything. It doesn't like ruin the look, but I think that looks pretty good. I like that her chest comes together really well. I feel like I could get a little bit closer. So this lines up really well right here. Really, oh geez, you have it down, Shannon, come on. This lines up really well right here. I feel like this is a little bit unaligned. So I'll pay attention. I'm going to pin that, like put a pin in that section to move that a little bit. But then I feel like this right here meets up really, really well. And her back end, I think, meets really well. So it's right here that I'm a little bit concerned with. So I might pop that stitch and play just a bit right there. Which is this here. But that longer stitch length means I'm only having to like pull a couple of threads. And then I can mess with just that one area. That'll be good. And not have to take out a 1.0 stitch length to really, Sadie, that was lovely. And I'm going to pop a pin in it to hold that in place there. And now I'm going to go ahead and go with my shorter stitch length. Let me see what I missed. I don't know if you can see the audition stitch, but I did it at a 4. It's in white thread, so that might be not be or light gray, dove gray. But it's a good stitch length, and then I only had to pop like 2 of those stitches to tweak that area, and now I can go in. And again, you can take out your basting stitch, the auditioning stitch. You can take it out, you can leave it in, totally up to you. Dogs are yapping. Someone's coming in the house. So, all right, got my stitch lengths back down. We are good to go. And it's wild when you switch from a really long stitch length to a short one. You're like, why is this taking so long? Let's see. Russ says, pro tip, if you don't take your holiday decorations down, you don't have to put them back up next year. True story. Valerie says her outside entrance has entrance tree and lights. Only need me to set the timer. Love that. Donna says she started decorating. Sad to take down the wall hanging. Oh, that's all right. You got to switch it out. You got to change it up, right? Yeah. Valerie says it was smidgen off, but the important places were great. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I love the audition. Doing that long stitch length will save you a lot of heartache when you go back to do it in the really short stitch length to hold it all together. You definitely don't have to feel married to the seams being at such a short stitch length if you don't want. Again, I'm an aggressive ironer, so I want to see as little of the stitches as possible. Hi, Kelly. Kelly Quilts and Bruises. How are you doing? Happy December. Pins, definitely. You can definitely pin. If you do that, if you use so let's talk about pins. If you use the small glass, can you see those? The small glass head ones, or ones that have a really small end rather than the wider ones, you can do that airplane thing where you go in at a really steep angle and do the pins all the way down and audition that way. That's another great way to do the auditioning with just pinning the sew line before you sew it together. And then if you don't like having them long ways, pulling them out that way, because I sometimes feel like having them that long, the long way across the sew line in really difficult places, like where I wanted to reshape, make sure the head was shaped correctly, I lined up with the pins going the long way and then pinned I'm thinking of it as north and south to shorten the gap between areas that the pins are. When it's across the sew line, it's a really long space when you have to pull the needle out to where you're actually sewing, and that amount of space can sometimes give the fabric a little more play than I want it to have, especially when I had picked and unpicked a couple of times and the fabric was a little bit wonky. So auditioning it with the pins going that length, and then when I was happy, pinning it north and south, so that I have more pins along the area that I was concerned with. Really works out really well. So that's another way to do the auditioning, and keeping things straight. Let's see. Shelly says I have 2 pattern pages left to piece, and then I can put Blue Jay together. Yay! Oh, I know your mom is going to love it. I know your mom's going to love it. What's up, Lauren? Huh? Oh, hey. All right. So let's make sure. Yeah. So going back and moving that just a smidge, I'm much happier with where this comes together. So when I iron it, oh, I don't even know if you can see that. Right here was where I was, it was off a little bit. Now, when I iron it, it'll be much closer. So really happy with where the chest comes together. These all look really good. This looks so much better. This point where all of these are coming together, I'm happy with. This point where all of these are coming together, I'm really happy with. And where it meets down here at the wood, I think it looks great. So there we go. So now I will take the paper out of this seam. I'll pull all this paper out of the seam allowance, and then I will, how I do this is I gotta make sure my iron's back on again. Waited too long. I will iron to one side, press it down really well, and then I'll flip the seam back over to the other side. I find that helps me with getting the seam to open a lot easier. It might be a me thing. I don't know. It might be all in my head, but I feel like when I do that, I iron to one side, then flip it and iron it to the other side. I feel like it helps me open it up much easier. So that's my plan. I'm going to go ahead and do that. First, I'm going to take all the papers out. Oh, yeah. I know Shelly's mom's going to love this Blue Jay. Hi Debbie, how are you doing? Yeah, Kelly, I just I wanted to show, because I think 2 weeks ago I showed the pin auditioning with the airplane move. And then this week I did the long basting stitch to do the audition. So again, you can take out the audition stitch, the longer one. I think I'm gonna just leave it be. I don't see any reason to pull it out. It's not going to bother me. It's so wide that it's not going to add any bulk to the seam or anything like that. So I'm just going to let that basting stitch stay. But it was definitely nice and it helped. Oh, also, you don't have to have these quilting branded tweezers. You can just have regular tweezers from, like, your bathroom, but these definitely help for getting the papers out of the tight sections that where, like, the paper and the two pieces come together. Oh, this is under a seam, so there we go. Having a pair of tweezers in your toolkit is helpful when getting all the papers out. I'm not going to put you all through the boredom of watching me get all the rest of the paper out, but I've been thinking about this with the Blue Jay. I may just take some of the Kona, the black, the key is the letter for the black that I'm talking about. I may take some of that. Oh, I'll also show you all the fabric that I've got left over. And I might border her. Might just put like a 1-inch border around the outside to frame her up. And then I'm going to put her in an actual picture frame. I've been contemplating doing that. I did that last year with my building blocks. in the autumn colors. I did the free building blocks legit kit pattern, and I think I did a 2.5 inch border on that. And I just really liked how that finished it up. I thought it looked really pretty. I didn't put a border on the mini rose, which is my mom's eventually when I finish all the flowers. I didn't put a border on that, but I'm thinking I might go back and do that. Its frame met an unfortunate demise in travel. I was sharing it with the Quilt Guild this past year, was showing it off, and the frame got run over by my sewing machine bag. Oops. So I have to reframe the flower anyway. So I'm thinking I might do a nice border around it, and it keeps all of the, the weird, the biased angles and all that kind of stuff. It keeps it all in place. So I might do that. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Let's see. Makes sense with the pins. Good morning again, Debbie. Kelly asks, Shannon, do you stitch a victory lap around the outside of the projects after you have it pressed? Oh, sort of. So that's kind of what I feel like the border does, to like contain all of those like weird bias edges and everything. I feel like that the border does that really well. But that is another really good way to keep everything straight. I love that you call it a victory lap. Kelly, I'm stealing that. I'm going to keep that forever and always. I like that. Yeah, Kelly doesn't take out her auditioning stitch either. She just leaves it in, stitches right over it. It is not, there's not enough thread to cause any issues with building up too much bulk in your in the seam. If you keep that in there, that is not a problem at all. Shelly asked, do I have the frame made? No, I go to Amazon and wait for like Black Friday deals and buy just simple. I'm really just like a simple black frame. And that's what I buy them in a bunch of different sizes. Like I got a 4-pack of like 20 by 16 and 18 by 18. Like, so I've got several different sizes of frames that I just throughout the year will buy a pack of, so that I'll have them ready for different projects. I'm not sure where I would get the frames made. I know Michaels makes will frame things for you. But I've heard they're kind of expensive. But I guess if you go with a coupon, that might not be bad. We are very much plagiarizing crew. we'll take the fun terminologies, little phrases, little things that make it easy to remember. I like that. Oh, also, Kelly, you're a great example. If you are here and you have your own YouTube channel, please, please, please. Okay, Johanna, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. But if you have your YouTube channel, please, please, please do !selfie, all lowercase words. So Russ, you can do this too. It'll be ! No spaces in between, ! SELFIE. And that will highlight your YouTube channel with Nightbot. It'll pop your channel up, because I'm horrible at remembering to put everybody's channels in Nightbot. So yeah, Amazon always has something going on. So you can, there are ones where you can get 2-packs or 4-packs. As much as I do, I usually tend to get the 4-pack ones, but so yeah, we've got, I'm just setting the seam, as they say, which I like warms up the seam. And then I'm going to go one side to the other. Also, another reason to go one side or the other, with if there's not so many seams coming together in one location, sometimes. Oh, good, yay, Kelly, thank you. Yes, exactly. The borders help me make it fit a frame I already have, which is why I'm doing it on her, so I can fit the frame I had in mind for her. Yes, excellent, Kelly. Good, good, good. So yep, the selfie is working. Oh, so switching which way you're pressing your seams to can also help align things, because it'll pull a little more, pull the fabric a little more one way or the other way. So if you're not happy with sections that are meeting in FPP, sometimes depending on how many seams you have coming together, deciding which way you're going to press that seam can help you mask better that they're not 1000% perfect matching up. So there's a little insider tip on how I sometimes fudge. I don't think it's really fudging it. It's just that's how the fabric is laying. But I'm gonna have it open. I will end up, when I get all the papers out, again, I'm not gonna put you through all that. When I get all the papers out, I'll end up going and pressing everything again. May hit some seams with a hammer, little plastic headed hammer to knock down the seams even more. That always helps get everything flattened out even better. So I'll do that because there are a lot of seams. There's a lot going on back here. And I just want it to lay as flat as possible. The Acorn Easy Press helps with that. The Clapper, this guy, helps with that. And then hammering will also help with that. And I usually just wait for the hammering for the end so I can just make all the noise I need to make one time. It drives the dogs insane when I do it, so because I think somebody's at the door every time. Crazies. So I said I was going to talk about some of the sections that drove me a little wonky. The head was an area that it gave me issues. So think about in small sections, if you're having a hard time making things line up, think about removing the paper to give you a little bit more play. The fabric has a little more forgiveness when you have to move it one way or the other. So think about removing some of the paper. If let's see, there's no real areas. I did decide in some areas where there was less fabric than the other side that I was putting together, I decided to not open all of the seams. Some of them I pressed to one side because that side had less resistance. And I think I've heard it before, I've said it before, I really do think the fabric, it tells you which way it wants to go. Sometimes you have to make the fabric listen to what you're saying and you have to press it one way or the other, especially if you're going to be nesting seams and things like that, if the pattern writer has it set up that way. But sometimes it just tells you which way it wants to lay, and it usually is the path of least resistance. It wants to go where it's not having to fold back on itself where there are so many seams. So I'll just let it go if I'm doing that. Kelly says, I'm sewing the FPP pieces of the Violet Craft Wolf. Oh, very cool. Assembly will be in the future, depending on holiday activities. Yeah, that's a big one. Oh, Kelly, if you wouldn't mind, post that in. I'm trying to get more active on the Facebook page of having folks share what they're up to. It's been very much a me just kind of what I post on Instagram posts over to Facebook, and I've just kind of ignored Facebook. really, pretty much. It's just, a copy of Instagram, but I'd love to get that kind of like going more of us sharing everything that we're working on. So if you have Facebook, if you don't mind sharing what you're up to so we can uh, celebrate what you're working on, that would be awesome. Hello, bass drop. You're gonna have to keep going. Thank you, sir. I'm also, these are in this seam. These are all like really dark colors. So I'm kind of just setting the iron on it and leaving it be for a couple of minutes. Well, probably like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, rather than pulling it off right away to help the weight of the iron and all that help open the seam. And they're really dark colors, so I'm not worried about there being discoloration from doing that, because the Oliso Mini gets hot, so it can definitely make the color, like the paper, you can definitely tell is changing color from me letting it sit there. That's all right. So the seam is open. There she is, Miss Minnie. Miss Minnie Blue Jay. Oh, the little camera's in the way. Here, we'll go over this way. But yeah, I'm so excited to have completed her with everybody. She is so pretty. I've got to pull some of these stitches out of the way. The ones I had pulled out, I'll have to pull back through, or grab a pair of scissors and clip it. There we go. Definitely have some cat hair on her. That is true of all of my projects. But there she is. Let's see if I can pull her up so you can see all of this. Is the center seam here where she's coming together. Of course, I love all the greens that she's put on, but the blues are all really pretty. And now this is really getting me to want to do the BJ, the Blue Jay, the larger one, the original OG Blue Jay. So there we go. Super proud. Yay. Do, do, do. She's so pretty. So yeah, I really do think I'm gonna put like a thin 1-inch black, that pepper pea of Kona around her on the outside so that she'll fit in the frame that I have in mind and will contain all of these biased edges. So actually what I'll do is, even before I take the papers off, for the stability of these biased edges, I'll probably put well, I definitely will. My plan is to put the border on using the paper to help it stay stable. And then I'll take all the papers out. So it'll be a 2-part finish. And then I'll get her in the frame. But I'll be able to do that probably this week and show off a picture of her all completed. But yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know that she's still on sale. Let me take a look. She might still be on sale. Because of Black Friday and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember. But let's see what she's at. If you wanted to join in, yeah, Black Friday sale now through December 2nd. So there's definitely Blue Jay Mini is on sale for $89, and that comes with all of the fabric. You don't have to, the fabric's not pre-cut, you have to cut the fabric, but you get all of the fabric in it, so you don't have to worry about scrounging. Now for the mini, it's a lot less fabric that you'd have to get together. Let me show you all of the fabric that's left over, keeping in mind that I am it has become a game for me to see how little fabric or how much fabric I can be left over for each project. So don't feel like you have to do that, but keep in mind, because I do that, I'm saying that you're going to have plenty of fabric. So NL was one of the ones that was used a lot, and I still have the, most of this scrap. So I think this is a good amount of leftovers and should make you feel very confident in, the cutting that you're going to do. Like, this was a scrap of 4.5 by 5.5. And there's still, even if I made a mistake or if I needed to switch, I made a mistake or a cut wrong, whatever. There's enough of this for the little pieces that I used that I wouldn't have to worry about ordering it. Also, Legit Kit is really good if you miscut, if your dog eats your fabric, if for whatever, I don't know, whatever you do, you drop it and it gets thrown away. They're really good about replacing the fabric. So don't feel like you can't reach out to them if something goes wrong with the fabric. They will make sure that you have what you need to finish your project. Their customer service is really good that way. So this is all the leftovers. And I really, for some of these, there's enough left over for like if you make a mistake. But a lot of these, with how much of a game I make it, I think I could probably make another one of her and not have to even order any more fabric. Oh, S. S is pepper. P is just black. Sorry. I think I'd said P is pepper. It just made sense to me. But S is pepper. P is just black. So this is what I'm going to border her with. And I have plenty of this left over. I'll probably use some of this, and then P I have left over from other of the projects, and go ahead and get it bordered. So there we go. Also, I'll go ahead and put the let's see. Oh, thank you guys. She is pretty, isn't she? Hey, Ingrid. Oh, it wouldn't let you. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Let me go check out the Facebook page. Let's see why it's not letting folks. That could be a problem. Oh, well, okay. I'm gonna see if like I need to like change it so I don't have to approve things. That might be the issue. I might be set to where I have to approve that people can post things. I'll check on that. Will Nightbot put your Facebook page link in the chat? Oh. Let's see. I think it's definitely in the description of this video. So if you pull the description down, the Facebook page is there. So you can definitely do it that way. Thanks, guys. Isn't she cute? I'm so excited about her. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Blue Jays are awesome. We have the Cardinals still, back and hanging out. They're getting ready for winter. I love Cardinals in the winter, but the Blue Jays I haven't seen in a little while. There was like, I don't know what a group, how like a group of Blue Jays or a group of crows is called a murder. I don't know what a group of Blue Jays is called. If anybody out there is on Google, let me know. But we had a bunch. There was like 12 of them in the back, like green area of the townhouses. I love them. They're so pretty. They're mean. And they push around other birds, but they're gorgeous. Okay, thank you guys. I'll have to figure that out, why it's being weird and not letting people post. Bye, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Okay, so now that we've completed the mini Blue Jay, I wanted to talk a little bit about what is going to be happening here on the channel. So Russ was talking about doing Vlogmas, so you're going to want to check out his Vlogmas. That's going to be an everyday post. I just started a new job and will not be doing that. I'll be doing traveling for the job. So I will not be doing everyday Vlogmas. I will, the traveling that I'm doing is within the work week. So the weekends will still be here. So I'll be doing that, still available to post and do Sunday brunches. I am going to be working on some Christmas projects through December for the holiday brunch or well, I guess, yeah, the holiday brunches. I need to finish my son's girlfriend's quilt, her first quilt. I need to finish that. That's a 4-patch quilt that I'm doing with 5-inch blocks. Need to finish that. So I'll probably do that a couple of Sundays to get that finished up. I'm going to take December as a finish up things that need to be finished month before we hit December. I still, okay, so the Neon Nights is the pattern that won everybody was picking on YouTube, the poll of what pattern should win, and Neon Nights won. I have been resistant to put that pattern up because I didn't want to tie myself into having to do a live every week sew along where I felt like I was kind of like tied to making sure that that was done every week. What I may do is go ahead and put the pattern out, let everybody grab that pattern because I'm very proud of the pattern. I love it very much. And then do a couple of pre-recorded videos of me doing the 2 blocks. So one of the blocks is called Dusty Rose, and the other is the Sparkling Star that we did for the 2-color quilt challenge, which was really difficult difficult for me, was difficult. Other folks nailed it and had no problems. It made me cry. It didn't really make me cry, but I had to use pins and I hate using pins. So I really wanted to bend it to my will. So I rewrote it in FPP. So that's also in that. And so I might do pre-recorded videos of putting those 2 stars together. And then, it's literally just those 2 stars and that makes up the whole thing. I'm doing it in cherry wood fabrics, this really cool watermelon-y color, a really awesome yellow, like a lemony yellow. I'm excited about it. So I think that will be the plan for January, is to put out me putting those 2 blocks together in a video, each block. And rather than like a week by week sew along. So that's the plan for that. I may get back to, so this year has been a rough year. Been sick a lot. There've been a lot of changes. I feel like it was like there was like a midlife crisis happening. Yeah, it's been a rough year. A lot of things changed that I never thought would change. There've been really high highs and it's been some really low lows. So it's kind of been more lows than highs this year. What are you going to do? That's just the way life is, right? So I definitely have, coming out of a funk, I would say. And I was really unsure of what I wanted to do moving forward with the YouTube channel, because I didn't want to feel tied down to anything. I will say that like I said, I'm coming out of this funk. I feel a lot better about things, cheerier about things. It might be the holiday. Again, I was talking about how the holiday season makes me feel really good and happy. So it may just be because I'm coming into this time of year that I'm an absolute kid about and a geek about this whole time of year. Nothing about this time of year makes me upset. It's just the best. Even that with it being cold, I'm still so freaking happy. So I've been a lot more jubilant about wanting to do things, wanting to sew. There was a period of time that I didn't touch my sewing machine for like a month and a half. And when I did, like when I had to, I was angry at it. Didn't want to, didn't want to have to touch my sewing machine. So I'm feeling much better about that. Now, I am not going to be promising that because I was doing the Sunday lives and the Thursday morning vlog, podcasty thing. I'm not promising that I'm going to be on such a stringent schedule to keep myself to. And there might be sometimes just some rando lives because I feel like it and I'm in a better place and all that kind of stuff. But that being said, I'm definitely feeling a lot better and more excited about being here and being with you guys than I was a couple months ago. For my own self, my own head. Had nothing to do with you guys. Everything was very cool there. You guys have always been nothing but supportive and amazing. And it was just whatever was I was going through, I just was bummed out and blah. And I don't know if y'all can tell. I feel like I can tell. Like, just I'm like I'm over that now. I'm past that now. That was so last year. So I definitely will be doing some fun things out there. Some Christmassy things I want to do. Like I've watched a couple of crafts and everything being done, different uh like ornaments and things like that being made. I love that kind of stuff. I think last year when like I was doing Mod Podge, I love that kind of crazy crafty stuff. So I will definitely be sharing some of that stuff, just not an everyday thing like Vlogmas, like Russ's crazy butt is going to be doing. So definitely not going away, but just kind of revamping how I do things and making it a little more like a pop-up restaurant where like I will pop up live on a random day because I can. And we'll most likely keep the Sunday brunches to specific things and schedule those and have those ready for you guys. But during the week might be a little more random. And if you can join us live, awesome. If you catch it in a replay, awesome. And then have just some like pre-made videos to put out. I think that's going to be probably the way I go. Oh, Ingrid found out a group of Blue Jays is often referred to as a party or a band. Okay, I got to think of a really good band name for a bunch of Blue Jays. Charlotte says Blue Jays are crazy mean birds. They are. They're nuts. They are very pretty. They're loud too. They are talkative little buggers. Oh, Ingrid remembers that sparkling star and being a challenge. Yes. Hello, Jess. I'm so blessed by Jess. And hey, Math Geek. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Awesome for you guys to be here. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan for moving forward. I have some personal projects that I'm working on. I talked about I'm working on the 4-patch quilt for my son's girlfriend. I'm doing that. I'm involved in the Modern Quilt Guild, has a swap that they're doing that doesn't have to be sent out until February of 2025, but I've already started it. I'm going to show you guys some of what it looks like because I'm excited. This is not the whole thing put together, but this is a piece of it. So this is another pattern that I wrote, but I'm putting it together in these bright batiks. So this is just a section of it. So if she's watching, my swap mate, if she's watching, this is not the whole picture, but this is a part of it and it's in FPP. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the colors. I think it's a lot of fun. So I may work on this, but because it's a secret swap, I wouldn't like have the overhead camera on it or anything. I have to keep it on the down low. But I love the teaks. Oh, and then this is what I'm going to do for that piece. I'm going to use this as the backing because I think this is so pretty. Ooh, that's going to be awesome. Awesome, cool, fun things. Hi, Gladys. Good morning. Oh, Shelly, thank you. I appreciate that. I have started to lay some roots here in Frederick. I'm working with a local woman. Guys, this is crazy. I'm working with a local woman called That's So Hillary. If you want to like check her out on Instagram or Facebook, she has a studio here, a local studio where she teaches she is a seamstress. So she teaches like tailoring your own clothes and mending your own clothes, which is all really freaking cool. I love that. So she has a studio of 8 machines, and she put out a call on Facebook about wanting to kind of open it up to doing this. That's So Hillary and Friends. And she has been interested in learning FPP. And so I talked to her, and I'm going to be doing a class the first weekend in February with her. So it's an in-person class where we're going to be putting together. I wrote, I know there are a bunch of patterns out there already written for seam rippers, but she said her part of her logo is a seam ripper. So she was really interested in doing a seam ripper. And I like writing my own patterns, like figuring out how it makes sense to me. So I wrote a pattern for a seam ripper. And so we're going to do that in FPP. I have it so I'm going to teach it in her studio for 8 folks. Have it. We're going to make it a pillow, a little envelope closure pillow. I'm super excited about that. And I have 2 versions. Like there's just the seam ripper, or I also have the version where we're going to also FPP the word sew and put the 2 of them together and make that into a little accent pillow. So hopefully that goes really well. And I'll be able to teach some more classes there. I also knit, so I've told her I could do beginner knitting as well. But she has a couple of folks that knit and crochet, so I think she might have that covered. But I there is one type of knitting called entrelac that I love to do, so I can knit forwards and backwards without ever changing the rotation of the project that I'm working on. So I can knit across and I can purl back, or I can knit backwards and never change. It's always just looking at me. I love that. Could also teach toe up socks. That would be a lot of fun. Anyway, rambling. It's an opportunity to really put down some roots here in my local area, which I had not gotten into. I hadn't started before, where I was so excited about YouTube and doing YouTube and hanging out with you guys that I hadn't even broached doing things local because it was kind of overwhelming. I had was starting to think about doing some like day retreat and all that kind of stuff, but hadn't put it into place because it was overwhelming. But now I think I've got a good like groove going on. I've got a good plan in place on what YouTube is going to mean for me moving forward. And now I can start doing that local stuff. So I'm excited about that pillow class. That's going to be fun. And I'm hoping that will open up more opportunities for some local stuff. Thank you, Nightbot. Nightbot says it's time to do some stretches. So definitely do some very cool stretches, some like chair yoga and stuff. Yay. So yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm planning for the future. Yeah. I'm just really excited to kind of be like back in a groove. The new job is kind of cool. It's going to be a lot. I'm in charge of a team of people. And we're not all located in the same spot, so that's going to be fun. But again, I was talking about how nice it is with Teams and Zooms and all that kind of stuff. It really like brings the world together. It's just managing all the different hours. One of my direct reports is in India. One's in Panama, which is, I think, is only just an hour behind. A couple are in Pittsburgh, so it's going to be Pittsburgh and Panama is going to be definitely the easiest. It's working with folks in Paris and in India that's going to be an interesting thing to work out for our team, but it'll be good. Yeah, I'm excited about the local thing. I'm gonna I'm gonna join one of the guilds. I'm gonna try that out, see how that goes. I'm already a member of the DC group of Modern Quilt Guild, but I've only ever done virtual stuff because I am highly adverse to driving into DC. I hate traffic so much. So there is a local guild that meets just right down in downtown Frederick. I'm thinking about joining them. I think being a part of that's So Hillary with her studio and some of the things that she gets involved in with open sews and all that kind of stuff, or just open things with needles night. So she'll have cross stitchers and knitters and all that kind of stuff in her open nights. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. It'll be new. So the goal now is to get those patterns up, the Neon Night, the Pine Burr reboot, and the, why can I not think of the third one? Holy cow. I cannot for the life of me think of the third one right now. Well, it was in my head. I was going to say that one first, and I was like, oh no, I need to say Pine Burr before I forget about Pine Burr. And then I forgot about the other one. Well, anyway, those three. I have a couple of more patterns that are about ready to go. The pattern writing process, like the creating the blocks and the things to put together, I love so much, and I think that goes by so fast. But the writing the instructions part is, if I could have a ghostwriter, I would be so excited. I wish my daughter knew all about quilting, and I could just give the writing of the patterns to them and say thank you, go do, and I would never have to think about it again. I would be so excited. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's really good, and it's really close to home, like really close to home. So close I can come home and let the dogs out during lunch and like not have them cooped up for the day, which is nice. It's really cool. I'm excited about it. And it's a really good team and a really good environment. It's not in government contracting, which is what was sucking the life out of my soul. So no more government, no more federal government or local government or state government jobs. So that'll be cool. And this group really likes to do like potlucks and everything. And having been a chef, I'm all about, yes, food, please. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good job. But yeah, that's kind of it. Again, we got to complete the Blue Jay Mini today. So we did this guy, finished up this last seam, put the two blocks A1, A2, B1, B2 together. So pretty. This is what it looks like in the back. Up here, I took out the papers because I was having a hard time getting her head to match the way I wanted, and the papers were hindering that a little bit. So if you are putting things together and the paper, I usually like to keep the paper in because it gives it structure and makes it easier for most spots to match all the pieces together. In this case, it was hindering, the paper was making it harder. And the fabric was much more fluid and will bend to your will a little bit better. So I took out the papers here to make her head fit together much better. And I'm really excited about how that turned out. This bit right here was It was off enough to make me upset. So it is your personal call on how much off a thing can be before you have to unpick it. And it was too much for me personally. Other spots like these, this is not 1,000% correct. Close enough for me. I'm totally fine with that. This one, not 1,000% close enough for me. So it has to be there's a layer of a level of like right here. I wouldn't call that 1,000%. That's close enough for me. I'm happy with that. But it's a personal call on what if you were gonna if so every time I looked at her head, my eye was drawn right to the piece that I knew I wasn't happy with. And I knew if I finished her, I would always be drawn to that and I would never be completely happy. So that's why I took the papers out and I redid it and I made it so I was happy. And everything else about her, I'm ecstatic about. So I know that I can finish her, I can quilt her up. I don't know how I'm going to quilt her. I have no idea how I'm going to quilt her. I don't want to do just straight lines. I love doing like the matchstick quilting, but I don't want to do that for her. So I'm not sure. I may echo stitch around all of the pieces of her and then do just some loosey goosey stuff in the green. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. That'll be the next, once I get the border on, that'll be the next thing to think about. Not sure. I do like the idea of the echo stitching around her and then like doing the bubbles, the little circles on the outside, or doing the random, what is that? What is it called? The squigglies, the random squigglies. I can't remember what that's called, but maybe do that. I like the bubbles though; those are fun. That'll be fun to do on Arnie. Switch him around to be a long arm or whatever. A free to do the quilting. That'll be fun to do. So yeah, so there we go. That's where we're at. So I got to put the border on her, then do the quilting, and then get her framed. And I'm excited to do that. Have her finished and be able to call her done. So it's a bit of a shorter one this week, just a little bit over an hour, but I'm going to go ahead and call it for the day. I thank you all. So, meander. Thank you, Mary. Yes. We do, Charlotte. We really are our worst critics. It's really bad for ourselves, but I am super happy that I did take the time. So that part I'm really happy about, that I took the time to fix her little noggin, and I'm super proud of how she looks. So being a legit kit instructor, I think I put even more pressure on myself because I want to be like, pristine with what I'm doing. And so I'm really happy with how she looks. I'm really happy. Be proud to put this up against anybody else's. So I'm also competitive. So yeah. A meander. I think that I'm not sure. I can't decide if the bubbles, the little like circles, or the meander would make me happier. I'll have to see. Or maybe I don't have to choose. Maybe I can do both. Like do the bubbles on the bottom side and the meander on the top. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have like a long arm. I have all of my matchstick quilting and stuff I've done either on my Singer patchwork. I also love a good wavy, so not matchstick, but like a wavy quilting line, and then follow that. I like the kind of randomness that gives. I've done that on a couple, but yeah, I don't have a long arm, so it would everything would be on. I do have the free motion quilting table for Arnie, And I've talked about wanting to get him switched around and get that set up and do that. And I need to do it. So the Blue Jay Mini might be the where I go ahead and get it switched around and do that. Yeah, I'm excited about the Echo quilting. I think that'll be fun around the body, and maybe like do it close to the body, and then maybe like out a couple of like small like matchsticky lines outside of it. That would be kind of cool, and it'll be neat to test out Arnie as a I don't know, would you call it a mid arm? I don't know. Charlotte's been free motion quilting on her Juki 18. Yeah, I've enjoyed watching Fudge. Now I'm not gonna remember what her name is. She's the one that says enough talking already. uh Dang it. But I've enjoyed watching her, how she has her set up where she's got like clamps that lift the weight of the project that she's working on away from. And she also does it on a TL. I'm not sure if it's the 18, but she does it on a Juki too, with the free arm table. So I maybe I don't know, figure out how I can do that. I might be able to do that on this table. I'd have to figure out, because I would love to also video it and show it off. Finishing up, maybe finishing up with the Blue Jay Mini and doing that, making that a live that we do. Well, maybe maybe not make that one a live. I may not want to set myself up for that, because the number of curse words that may flow from my mouth for my first time trying to do that quilting on Arnie I might not be setting myself up for success to do that as a live, but I might videotape myself doing it and then edit. Maybe do a voiceover so you all can't hear what I have to truly say as I am learning. Yeah, maybe that'd be the best. That's funny. I can only imagine what I would get myself into doing that live. That'd be interesting. So, but I do like that Charlotte has been doing her free motion quilting. I quilted and did, it was straight line quilting, but did a extra large twin, quilted that on my patchwork, the Singer patchwork. That's a great machine. I love that little machine. I still have it. It's adorable. I love it. I love that it has, because Arnie is a straight stitch. I love that it has more like fun stitches to do and all that kind of stuff. And I can do small letters on it, enough to do like labels and stuff, do that kind of embroidery on it. But straight line quilting the extra large twin on that patchwork, goodness, because like as you're getting to the end and you have to roll, you're rolling the quilt up. I mean, the patchwork neck is only like this big. Like it was I got an arm workout for sure, like working that guy through the thing. So this opening is going to be not a problem at all. I'm very excited about it. Oh, have fun, Valerie. Nice seeing you too. I think, well, I'm gonna rearrange the living room. So I've got to move the furniture and then get the Christmas tree up. But I'm excited to do that. The Christmas tree, I literally will just lay on the couch with the lights out and look at the Christmas tree lights and feel so much happiness. So I can't wait to get the tree up. But I am gonna rearrange the living room to make room for it. Got to get the dog crate out of the way, that kind of stuff. So that will probably be a later today thing. But yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining me today. I'm so excited to have finished the piecing of Mini Blue Jay, and I'll get to work on adding that border and then working out what the plan is going to be for quilting, and hopefully make some videos of that. That would be fun. I haven't done any. I did a matchstick quilting kind of tutorial or whatever video on that, but it'll be fun to do something a little more creative and show that off too. So happy December, everybody. Woo! I cannot believe we're already in December. This year has been a year. Happy start of the holiday season. Again, if you need to talk about how much you hate this time of year, please just let me know. I know it's not everybody's favorite time of year, and I do feel that and understand that. I am excited to have kind of turned the corner with my own 2024 funk, and so that I can enjoy this time of year. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here. I will work on getting those patterns out so that you guys can get to work on them too, and a couple of other patterns that I've got hanging around. And then I will see you guys next Sunday, where I'll probably be working on a 4-patch quilt, and we can stitch and chat all day next brunch. So talk to you all soon. Have a very safe week, and I will see you next Sunday. Thanks, everybody.